Hi everyone, my name is Scott and I'm a runner. Welcome to the Run Scotty Run YouTube channel. So just for starters here, we got a little bit of a different background than most of my previous videos, but the patio door here in behind me, even with the blind, it's quite bright. And when I first turned it on, I was getting all kinds of light fading in and out. So hopefully it won't be too bad. As the title says, today is the 30-day check-in for my Relentless 100 challenge. I've shot a couple of videos previously. I'll have the playlist linked down below, which this video will also be a part of. Just as a quick recap for those who haven't watched the previous videos, the Relentless 100 is a challenge that a fellow named Tony Reyes, who I've been following on Instagram and YouTube for quite a long time. His YouTube and Instagram handles are Focus Fight Finish. I'll have his YouTube channel linked down below. Anyway, he started this challenge. I think Tony's 34 days in now. Essentially not, just to challenge people to do something for 100 days, make it whatever they wanted to. So my challenge on a daily basis, and these are all minimums that I do on a daily basis. I run every day a minimum of 7 kilometers, and that's all at one time, not just 5 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, or whatever. I do a minimum of 60 push-ups, and I read a minimum of 10 pages of a nonfiction book, hopefully an inspiring nonfiction story or self-help type book. Now those are minimum numbers. I'm already above those numbers in all 3. On a weekly basis, I do a minimum of 3 strength workouts and 3 yoga workouts or yoga sessions, just to help build up my strength and hopefully make me not only a better runner, but help prevent me from getting injured during this challenge and beyond. And also hoping that these are habits that I'm going to be carrying on past the 100 days. My 100-day challenge will also culminate on day 100 with a solo marathon that I'm going to run. All right, so there's the intro out of the way. I was going to do an update sort of around 20 days, but didn't really seem to make much sense. Now that I'm 30 days in, I'm fully entrenched in this new habit pattern, and it definitely has its ups and downs. So probably let's start with kind of the biggest challenges for me. I would say the number one challenge for me is getting my strength workouts in. I like to try and get everything done in the morning. So there are certainly some days when I come back from my run, I really struggle to get that strength workout done. But I just touch wood. I've managed to get stay on track and get a minimum of 3 strength workouts per week. I just have to keep telling myself that that it's all part of this program, and I will become a better runner. I already feel like I'm a better runner. I'm not necessarily a whole lot faster, but I feel a lot better when I run because of the strength workouts. So the strength workouts have been the biggest challenge for me, and they have been for a long time. I just work out. I have a little garage gym set up where I work out. But anyway, I'm proud to say and pleased to say that I have been able to get all the minimum strength workouts in. The yoga is not as much of a challenge. In fact, there have been a couple of weeks, I think the last 2 weeks maybe, I've done 4 yoga sessions just to help with my mobility. When I've felt my muscles were tight in my hips and my quads and that sort of stuff from the everyday runs. The running, actually, now that I'm not going to lie, that there are some days when it's tough, when it's cold, or Sundays, because Sundays were typically my rest days. Sundays sometimes are a little bit tough to get out there, but I find it not as much of a challenge to stay dedicated to getting out and getting those daily runs in, because it's really it really gives me that shot. Not only, I always feel better when I come back from a run, and normally once I just get myself to the end of the driveway and take that first step, things are good. I don't ever feel like cutting a run short or anything like that. So that's been working out really well. For the running, actually, just some numbers, because some of us runners are a bit of data geeks, I guess, if you want. So far in this challenge, I've accumulated 336.6 kilometers, which is about 209 miles. I'm averaging about 11.2 kilometers a day, or just under 7 miles a day, and that will probably slowly creep up as 10 weeks from tomorrow is when I'm going to run my marathon. So I really need to start keying in on getting some longer runs in. So those numbers are going to go up. The reading actually has been good. I'm firmly established in my reading habits. I've finished Atomic Habits by James Clear. I finished that probably just over a week ago. I will actually go back and read that book again, probably not as part of this challenge, but again afterwards, just because there's so many nuggets of great information in there that, I think in the first read I didn't get through. For the second book, and I've already finished it, this is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. This is just, for me anyway, this is just a phenomenal book. This is the third time that I've read it. And, 10 pages a day kind of weren't enough for me. I was reading, I picked up the pace. I was reading 20 pages a day, on average. So, it's amazing how quick you go through a book when you read 20 pages a day. And even though this is the third time I've read it, there were still some real nuggets of information. David Goggins is definitely, a take no prisoners guy. He's in your face quite a bit, but he's also, he gives you some great, stripping away all the BS, some great exercises that you can do. If you haven't read this book, be advised that you are going to have to get used to the F-bomb being dropped pretty regularly, but that's just the way that he is. And to read his story from what he came from through his childhood and what he accomplished is just unbelievable. And I'm sure that I will read this book again, not again necessarily as part of this challenge. The current book that I'm reading is called You Are a Badass: How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life by Jen Cicero. I got this from Amazon. I'll link it down below. I'm about 40 pages into this one. Still kind of getting a feel for it. I'm not 100% sure that as a 60-year-old man, I'm the right demographic, but I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna give it a chance, because I'm sure there are things in here that I will learn. After I've done this book, I'm sure it's only how many pages long? About 250 pages long. So I will probably be done that in about 10 or 12 days. I've got a couple of other books that were gifted to me. One was gifted to me for Christmas. It's called Out There: A Story of Ultra Recovery by a fellow by the name of David Clark. There's some pictures of him on the back. It's a before picture and an after picture. He basically, just reading the reviews, ultra running essentially saved this guy's life. He went from, morbid obesity, alcoholism, I think alcohol and drugs, but anyway, there was some substance abuse problems that he had there. So that looks like it's going to be a good, inspiring read. And also this one I got myself. It's called Limitless: An Ultra Runner's Story of Pain, Perseverance, and the Pursuit of Success, written by Mimi Anderson. I'm a big, I guess I'm a big fan, big study of the human spirit ever since I did my first Ironman triathlon and saw, the things that I saw there of, basically average, very, very average people just like me doing absolutely incredible things. Reading about people's human spirit, what they've overcome and what they've been able to accomplish. It just, it just fills me with such hope. So I'm hoping that those books will, again, get me thinking. So I'm not sure if I mentioned this in my last video, but I do my reading first thing in the morning. When I get my cup of coffee, I sit down. I don't look at social media. I don't look at YouTube. I don't look at my phone. I sit down and I do my reading. And, as I'm sipping my coffee, it's kind of a quiet 20 minutes, half an hour. It helps get my brain energized and working, and provoking some thought, food for thought in my head. And I'm really, really enjoying that. And I'm hoping that that's something that I will keep on with for quite a long time. I still am reading other books, fiction books and things like that. But these, reading this kind of nonfiction, some of it self-help, some of it, inspirational story type of stuff. It really gets me going. The push-ups actually haven't been too bad. I'm averaging now probably 90 push-ups a day. I'm normally doing three sets of 30. Sometimes, maybe I'll get up to 35 depending on how I'm feeling. I am feeling stronger. So I have essentially 70 more days to get to that point where I can do 60 nonstop. So I'm feeling fairly confident with that. All right, so I talked about the books. One of the other things that I've been doing this is just to kind of keep me consistent, is I have one of these. I'll just kind of pull back here. This is actually a desk calendar, like you would lay it on your desk, but it has holes here up in the top where you can hang it on the wall. So I have this hung on the wall in my man cave, if you were, where this is where I drink my morning coffee and watch YouTube videos and things like that. So it's always kind of there, not necessarily right in my face, but it's always there for me to look at. So what I wrote, I've done this before, and it's also something I learned from reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. So I have a couple of sort of key phrases, keywords: commitment, consistency compounds, and show up for yourself. Some of these things are things that I was inspired by Tony Reyes, Focus, Fight, Finish. And what I've done here is on this calendar, obviously you see some squares to remind me to put the garbage out, things like that. But what I do with each day is I draw a line sort of down across, and on the top I put, what day. Mostly I keep my running on this, what day we're on, how many kilometers I ran that day. Down here, I'm below the line. I've been writing my running total, and here are these highlighted numbers. This is it's actually a -3. I know it's hard to read because all this stuff shows up backwards, and I have it highlighted in pink. This is my one of my main goals for this entire year is to run 2,022 miles or 3,255 kilometers. So up until, you can see today, it switched to green. I'm now 2 kilometers ahead of that goal. So up until there, I was behind. So these are kind of visual reminders, and whether is it a motivator, is it to keep me consistent? I'm not sure, but I think it's going to help keep me consistent because I don't want to have a broken. Obviously my streak will essentially be over if I miss a day of my running. I also use Instagram. I wasn't initially going to post every single day of this challenge because prior to this challenge starting, I didn't post every single day on Instagram about my runs. But I find that's it's kind of an accountability thing for me. I'm not doing it to get likes or pats on the back. Although for those of you who follow me on Instagram, I humbly appreciate all of your support. It really does help. So But it's kind of an accountability thing for me, you know, I don't post it and I don't write anything until I've actually accomplished all the goals that I need to for that day. So that's kind of helped keep me accountable. All right, just kind of a last thing that I've noticed more in this streak maybe than I did do a 103-day streak before, which was just straight running. I didn't do any strength training, flexibility, which ended up in an injury. But I've noticed that kind of on a day-to-day basis, there are times where, you know, I'm essentially coaching myself. I don't have a coach, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. There are certain days where I may have to be flexible and, you know, move things around depending on, you know, what's happening or, you know, how my day is scheduled. So I tend to try, like I said, I tend to try and knock out everything in the morning. So, you know, I'll have on a day where I'm not weight training or strength training, I'll try and do all my push-ups kind of in the morning before I do my run, and then come home, do my yoga, and then boom, I'm done for the day. But sometimes, you know, I have to be flexible and move that around. The other thing is I find that I'm training more intuitively, and I'm okay with that. And what I mean by that is that I don't necessarily, you know, I might have wanted to do, you know, my weight training. I've tend to push it pretty hard because I'm doing it sort of as a maybe high intensity. So some days I'll have to say, okay, yeah, I need to slow the weight training down a little bit, or maybe I was thinking I wanted to do a bit of a tempo workout or something in my run, and I'll, you know, just intuitively say, you know, no, I think I'll maybe live to fight another day and switch that around. And sometimes I have to remember that, you know, maybe just the fact that I want to do this for 100 days, day in, day out, and stay consistent with it as much as possible, then I have to be flexible and train intuitively when I'm in the moment of my run. Like, you know, maybe on a particular day, the tempo workout is not there, or, you know, hill workout or whatever it is. And, you know, just go out, get the miles in, enjoy. I've been trying to switch up my routes a bit, and also 1 or 2 runs a week. I don't look at my watch other than to start it and to stop it, because, you know, everything goes to Strava. If it's not on Strava, it didn't happen, so to speak. But I'll just not look at my watch. I'll just run and just stay totally in tune with what's going on with my breathing and all that sort of stuff. I won't worry about heart rate or pace or anything like that. So that's kind of staying intuitive as well. Okay, so it's again, you know, being honest, it's not every single day has been easy. I'm not out there, you know, some days I feel like I'm absolutely crushing it, and then other days it's just like, you know, oh my goodness, thank goodness I got that done. But for the most part, you know, I feel fully established in these habits. Like I said, I'm really enjoying the getting out and getting that run done, because even though sometimes it is a real struggle to get myself out the door, I always feel better when I come back. I feel better physically, and I feel better mentally, it's a huge boost for my day and my sense of well-being, and so that's really paying off. I'm really enjoying the reading. You know, as tough as getting that strength training done is, it is very satisfying, you know, to push myself through those mental hurdles that I'm probably setting in my own way. You know, just getting out of my own head and just getting it done has really been satisfying. So touch wood, the body's feeling okay. You know, no doubt there are days where, you know, I feel tired, I feel a little bit sore. So again, those are days where I train a little bit more intuitively, so that, you know, I can keep this going for 100 days. So there you go, folks. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I'll put my Instagram handle down below. Also, I'm Papa Scotty on Strava, so I'll put that down below as well if you want to follow me on Strava. Again, thank you very much for taking the time to watch and listening to this update. I hope that you know, somehow it's helped or is somewhat interesting. So remember that no matter how old you are, how big you are, how far you run, or how fast you run, if you run, you are a runner. I wish you all the best in your upcoming running adventures, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.